Want to be a walker between worlds, walk between the worlds of the mundane and the sacred, of what is and what could be, of your intuition and of distraction, of whenever, wherever, however. Walk between worlds knowing that you are enough. Welcome to the threshold, the place of the intuitive, the mystic, the contemplative. A place to strengthen the connection to your core through mindfulness and inner wisdom. Are you a walker between the worlds? Let's find out. Now, the chaos, the uncertainty of the last couple of years really have spilled over into this year. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I am. The first month was this wild ride across the margins. It invited me to place one foot in the mundane and another in the extraordinary. No matter where I found myself, each trot provided different ways of seeing the world anew. Now, chaos and uncertainty aren't necessarily bad, but the past month did call for awareness and its outgrowth, flexibility. Now, if you're like me, January 1 came around, and I'm not the kind of person who sets resolutions. Rather, I have what I call aspirations. I listen to my intuition as a guide through the uncertainty, and through it, I decipher messages, reflect upon them, and then respond to the world as I understand the response should be. So maybe you're saying, well, gosh, I don't really consider myself intuitive. If not, maybe you have what you consider inner wisdom, or you hear whispers of the sacred within. Maybe you have epiphany moments, or just calm resolute that you know what the next steps are. So I'm going to tell you that no matter what, I'm sure that you have a voice that echoes through your being. That voice guides you on your walk between worlds. So, what are these worlds? A world can be defined in many ways. When you walk between the worlds, you're walking between two aspects of being. The big one is the mundane, ordinary, and the sacred, extraordinary. These manifest in your personal life, professional life, in relationships, in chaos, in uncertainty, in peace, in calm. You can basically find both of them in any moment of every day. Walking between the worlds, you are asked to show up as yourself no matter whenever, wherever, or however you find yourself. So for me, that's being contemplative while actively engaging the world. And I got to tell you, sometimes that's a major leap when everything is bombarding me. I show up as my contemplative spirit, sharing my compassion in moments that are uncertain and frankly broken. Walking between the worlds, I stand as witness, as a light of hope in a darkened world. I walk between the worlds, and as I walk between them, I'm really never lost. My light is a beacon that calls me home to myself no matter where I am. Now, walking between the worlds is about being aware. No longer going through the moments, hurrying from one to another, I turn off autopilot. I notice the unfolding moment for itself, and that's important. When you're walking between the worlds, you notice each unfolding moment as itself. I'm really becoming to be in the if I can say this, in the rhythm of being present, gliding from one moment to another. I'm aware of how each moment calls me and how my intuition is the navigator through the margins as I balance the knowing I gain from each world. That's important. It's that whole balancing act. Walking between the worlds means being who you are. Now, this trek through life is very different for each of us. How I experience my walk through the world is probably different than how you experience it. For me, it's a weaving of the sacred extraordinary into all that I do. And on this jaunt, the extraordinary teases the mundane into becoming more. And I have to tell you that my perception really casts a, a kaleidoscope of light onto the world. And as a margin dweller, this new way of perceiving really empowers my unapologetic living from my own core. Standing in the spark of my truth, this balancing act, while not quite easy, becomes more harmonious. Now, I'm going to repeat this again. Each of us has our own way of trekking. Maybe you are in the margins, and maybe you're smack dab in the middle. Most are somewhere in between. On this trek, you discover how you walk between the worlds. And just when you figure out the navigation, I'm betting you will be called to up your game, to find a different way to walk between the worlds. It's really about walking between the worlds whenever, wherever, and however you are called. So I'm going to issue an invitation. I'm walking between the worlds. Want to join me? So I want to thank you for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you need some help, some clarity walking between the worlds, love to work with you as a contemplative coach. I use mindfulness techniques and intuitive practices to help you fine-tune that connection to your inner core. Additional resources are available at vanessafhurst.com. But I'm going to tell you that no matter what you do, be in the moment and discover ways to walk between the worlds. Namaste.